Welcome to the TDD Spotlight, the series where we shed some light on Pokemon you may not have considered in Trouble Double Drafts. I'm your host, Technovoid, and with me is your favorite Pokemon analyst, Hamsterwings. After polling y'all last time, we've decided that doing an episode on Jumpluff would be dandy. Jumpluff is a C-tier grass and flying type Pokemon that is mainly useful for its supportive options. It's a lot worse than something like Whimsicott, but it's also a tier lower. Jumpluff's main stat is speed, which sorta makes up for its lack of the prankster ability, sitting pretty at a base 110 speed. Other than that, its stats aren't too impressive, but it does have a base 75 HP and base 95 special defense, which isn't great, but could be worse, especially since it does get strength stat. Both of Jumpluff's attack stats are base 55, so if you want to try and make this thing work as an offensive threat, you've got your work cut out for you. Jumpluff's typing is certainly not doing it any favors, so if you're using it, make sure to watch out for the myriad of types it's weak to, especially Ice. Jumpluff has access to Chlorophyll, which will double its speed in Sun. This has its uses, but Jumpluff is generally going to outspeed most of what it needs to anyways. It also gets Leaf Guard, which will prevent it from getting status while in the sun. This ability is pretty useless on Jumpluff because Jumpluff is a lot more likely to outright die than get targeted by status moves. Both of these abilities make Jumpluff seem like a good candidate for a Sun team, but Jumpluff's third ability, Infiltrator, is where you'll be seeing most of its power. This ability allows Jumpluff to ignore screens and mist, and more importantly substitutes, for all of its moves. This gives Jumpluff the unique ability to Sleep Powder or Strength Sap a foe hiding behind a sub, which isn't the most common thing, but it's a pretty unique trait of Jumpluff nonetheless. And now I'm going to pass it on over to Hamsterwings to talk about some sets.
Yeah, so when you see Jumpluff as in C tier, the easiest thing to compare it to is probably Whimsicott, because they do kind of similar things. Jumpluff has like one or two things over Whimsicott in exchange for being a C tier, and then Whimsicott has like 10 billion things over Jumpluff.
Indeed.
So I guess I can talk about a few of the drawbacks of Jumpluff first, just because this is probably the worst Pokemon we've covered so far, not gonna lie.
Very likely so, yeah.
So, in comparing it to Whimsicott, Whimsicott, first of all, is a lot better because it gets Tailwind, and this thing doesn't for some reason. It absolutely should, but it doesn't. Another big thing is, while Jumpluff can hit Dark types, and Whimsicott can't, Whimsicott also can invest in defenses because it doesn't need speed because of Prankster. Jumpluff always has to invest in speed, meaning it's probably going to be max HP, max speed. Always. And you have to trade defense for that. So Jumpluff can hit Dark types. Awesome. Jumpluff can't use Tailwind. That sucks. Jumpluff does have a move that is really good in Strength Sap.
Mm-hmm.
Strength Sap is an incredible move. Jumpluff also has pretty reliable sleep in base 75 accuracy, whereas Whimsicott's is Grass Whistle, which is like 30.
It's like 55, I think, but yeah, it's pretty bad.
It's something awful.
Yeah, don't use Grass Whistle.
Yeah. So that's basically Jumpluff. Right here we have the Sleep Buddy set. He is a buddy and he puts things to sleep.
That is his goal, yeah.
You probably want to pair him with like a spread move user so that he can be a buddy to the spread move user. Put one thing to sleep, maybe encore the other thing. Strength Sap when they're if they're physical attackers to get its health back if it needs it. And then usually just once its disruption is all set up and ready, it just starts helping hand the spread moves.
Absolutely.
That's basically that's kind of what Jumpluff does.
So moving on to the Martyr set, it's pretty similar here. Couple differences.
It is pretty similar. The main thing is having the Stun Spore over Sleep Powder, because if you're gonna martyr yourself, you want to have a status that just stays.
Yeah. Sleep, will go away.
So basically, if Jumpluff ever gets low without dying, it can usually Strength Sap back to full. And then once it procs its Focus Sash and it's ready to go down, then you can Memento something to get momentum after having hopefully wreaked havoc on a few things, causing them paralysis, maybe helping handing here and there.
And the Strength Sap just lets you last longer.
Yeah, whatever Jumpluff can do before it willingly takes itself down for momentum.
Mm-hmm. Then we should probably talk Bad Redirection next.
Yeah, Bad Redirection. Jumpluff does have Rage Powder. It's a really bad redirector. It is not tanky.
Yeah, it'll survive exactly one turn with Focus Sash.
Yeah, but that's why this set has sleep powder also, so you can sleep one thing. The thing will usually attack, the opposing side will usually attack the threat, which means it is not attacking Jumpluff.
Mm-hmm.
So if you sleep one thing and you get some rage powders off, it will do something at least.
Mm-hmm.
It'll buy you a few turns.
Yeah. And then
Again, it is a bad redirector.
yeah, it's not good at this.
But-
It can do it. It is an option, but maybe not
I mean-
recommended.
It is a niche that it can pull off.
Yeah.
Just badly.
I guess no tailwind next.
Yeah, this is kind of like a longevity Jumpluff that perhaps wouldn't invest in speed.
Mm-hmm.
You can still do the same thing with Helping Hand. This thing really doesn't do damage, so
Yeah.
there's not a lot of point in running damaging moves. Strength Sap and Leech Seed are wonderful for sustain. Helping Hand, you kind of need it on Jumpluff because it's not going to do damage on its own.
Mm-hmm.
You could slash it with Energy Ball if you really wanted to, just to have some like decent power stab.
Yeah,
But-
and so that taunt doesn't completely shut you down as well.
This is the kind of set you would also want Tailwind on, but it doesn't get it.
Yeah. True
Similarly,
facts.
you could put Cotton Guard on this set if you really wanted longevity, but again, it's not the best.
Yeah.
I mean, if anything, you could put Cotton Guard over Helping Hand or Sleep Powder.
Another move I could potentially see working on this set is U-turn.
Potentially, yeah, if you wanted to pass the Leech Seeds onto something else.
Yeah, or even just to get that momentum back to sort of, get something in. Yeah. It is pretty fast though, so whatever is coming in is going to take a hit potentially. Unless they're not attacking Jumpluff, which is also pretty likely.
Yep. And then, of course, the set that we skipped over.
Don't do this.
Don't do this.
By the way, that item slot, we didn't forget to put an item in there. There is no item there.
Yeah. Swords Dance, Protect, Acrobatics, Seed Bomb. This is if you're living in a fantasy land and you think Jumpluff can kill things.
Yeah, if you think this nice base 55, give him a
I mean,
plus.
I've seen one guy sweep with it in singles in Gen 5. And that's about it.
Yeah. And honestly, this set, like, you have Chlorophyll here, but I think both Chlorophyll and
Yeah, either
Infiltrator
of them-
both work here. Because Infiltrator, you're going to go through that Reflect.
It's like at +2 if the enemy team has a Reflect up. This thing's doing like 30%.
Yeah, it's not doing too much. This is really useful in, like, PU.
Yeah, basically.
And that's about it. So yeah, we like showing off at least one offensive set or at least one defensive set for Pokemon that don't normally
we
feel
like showing
that
off a
niche.
mix-up set.
Yeah, a mix-up set is always good. General rule though, Jumpluff's not particularly good at this, so only run this if you are truly out of options. And the thing is, in a draft, you do have like 10 Pokemon and you only bring 6, so maybe this is not a good idea.
Yeah, so basically the main takeaway from Jumpluff is that when it comes to like reliable, fast sleep, it is one of the best options, like genuinely.
Yeah, it is good at that. Yeah, its redirection isn't good, but it can do fast sleeps, and most of its damage is coming from Helping Hand.
Yeah.
And, it's not the bulkiest thing, but Strength Sap is just a really solid move. It heals you usually up to full, and it lowers your opponent's attack.
Yeah, Strength Sap, what it does is it literally takes your opponent's attack stat and adds it to your current health. So
Yeah.
it's almost always a full heal.
And then it takes one away from your one stage away
there.
from your opponent's attack. So it's
Yep.
a 2-in-1. It's really, really nice. So yeah, of course, Jumpluff's mediocre bulk and rather unfortunate defensive typing do mean it's going to have to use its speed, which means you are going to usually be putting points into speed. Anything faster than Jumpluff, either via stats or a Scarf, is going to make it pretty worthless because you've just lost your ability to outspeed something and put it to sleep. Also, any grass types or Pokemon that are otherwise immune to sleep are, gonna kind of shut it down. You'll also want to be wary of, it's weak to Stealth Rocks, it's weak to Fire, Flying, especially Ice.
If your opponent's team has Ice Shard, you basically can't bring Jumpluff.
Yeah, any priority, and especially Ice Shard, because the 4X is something you need to be very, very careful about with Jumpluff. Don't bring it if your opponent has Ice Shard coverage. And generally, Ice Beam and just Ice moves are a really common coverage type. Yeah, since Jumpluff is mainly going to be used in a supportive role, make sure that, it makes the most out of its few turns on the battle by pairing it with something that can really, use the helping hands, can use the free turns from the sleep, get some setup in there, get some Moxie boosts in there, whatever. And that's it. You got anything else?
No, that's about it for Jumpluff.
Alright, that's Jumpluff. Hope you learned something. Now it's time to vote on which Pokemon's going to be covered next time. Will it be the Water and Dark type Crawdaunt or the Psychic type Necrozma? Vote in the comments down below, and we will see you then. See ya.
See ya.